Okay, let's talk about another special case. So here's another special case. If you ever look and you see these numbers, and they are all divisible by a singular number, you can divide out right at the beginning. So when I look across there, I can see that 5, 30, and 50 are all divisible by 5. So right off the bat, I'm going to take out a 5. And we can see, in this case, it makes the problem easier. So I looked across and I saw that every single number was divisible by 5. So all I did was I took out a 5. Let's see a couple more examples like this where we can actually factor further. So you look at this problem right here and you go, hey, look at each of these numbers. They're all divisible by 2. So I'm going to take out a 2 right off the bat. Then, given this case, a lot of times we want to look and see if this thing, and I know I didn't do it on the last problem, but we want to see if this thing can factor. And when you look at that thing, it can. Because I can think of two numbers that multiply together to give me 8, but then we'll add together to give me 9. And those two numbers are 8 times 1. Because 8 times 1 gives you 8, but 8 plus 1 gives you 9. And this factors a little bit nicer. So again, the first thing that you want to do is just look across and see if there's any number that divides everything. We're going to do this with one more example. So we're going to look at this example right now, and when I look across, I can see that 3 is going to be the number that divides everything. So I'm going to get a 5x. I'm going to get a minus x. I'm going to get a minus 6. And so now we have to see if this inside thing factors. Now, what you really want to look at is this first term has a number in front. Anytime that first term has a number in front, or it has a value, we have to make this into a four-nomial. And how we do that is we take its first number and its last number, and we multiply these things together. So we take 5 and 6, so I get negative 30. Now I'm going to think about the things that multiply together to give me negative 30. Then we'll add together to give me negative 1. And those things would be negative 6 and positive 5. And so now we're just going to rewrite this thing. So I just wrote this into a four-nomial. And four-nomials are easier to factor if you break them up into two things. And so I'm going to look at what divides this. Well, these both share an x, so I can get 5x minus 6. And the only thing that these numbers share is a 1. And I would get 5x minus 6. When you look across, this is the same as this. So at the end of the day, we can rewrite this whole thing as 3, 5x minus 6, because those two things were the same. And then we're going to combine this and this thing and write this as x plus 1. So the major idea behind certain cases is if you can look across and see that there's a number that divides everything, you can make your life easier because it will reduce those things, and after those things are reduced, it's easier to factor. So try a couple of these problems.